You do not need a blood test to catch the first signs of diabetes. Long before most people get diagnosed, diabetes leaves clues on the one part of your body that's farthest from your heart, your feet. That's the dangerous part about diabetic foot complications. They often begin without obvious pain or discomfort, and by the time symptoms become impossible to ignore, significant damage may already exist. Tonight, 9 signs your feet may already be telling you before your next lab result ever could. Quick note first, this channel is for general education, not medical advice, and I'm not your doctor. If any of these sound familiar, this is exactly the kind of thing to bring to your doctor for a simple blood sugar check, not something to self-diagnose. I break down what the research actually says, the why behind what your body does, not just a scary list. Today, 9-foot signs tied to blood sugar problems, and exactly what each one means inside your body. Stay with me for number 4. It's a symptom that shows up not on your foot, but in how your foot heals. And it's the one podiatrists say gets ignored the longest. Before we start, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. Here's what almost no one explains. Your feet have the longest nerves in your entire body, running all the way from your spine down to your toes. When blood sugar runs high for months or years, even before a formal diagnosis, it quietly damages the small blood vessels that feed those nerves and the nerves themselves. Elevated blood sugar interferes with the nerve's ability to send signals, and it's believed diabetes also damages the very small blood vessels that supply blood to the nerves. Think of it like a phone line that runs the longest distance in the whole network. It's the first line to lose signal when there's a problem upstream. That's why your feet, not your hands or your face, are often where diabetes shows up first. Numbness or tingling in the toes. This usually starts so mild, people mistake it for their feet falling asleep. Mechanism. Typically, you'll experience slight numbness or tingling in your toes, which can progress until you're no longer able to feel pain or temperature differences, and symptoms often get worse at night. Analogy, it's like static slowly creeping onto a phone line. Faint at first, but a sign the connection is degrading. Evidence drop. This condition is called diabetic peripheral neuropathy, caused by elevated blood sugars damaging the nerves. And it typically starts in the toes before working further up the foot if left untreated. Prescription. If tingling or numbness in your toes has lasted more than a few weeks, mention it at your next doctor visit and ask about a simple blood sugar screening. Bridge. When numbness goes far enough, it starts hiding something much more dangerous. Loss of feeling in the feet. This is where numbness stops being an annoyance and starts being a real risk. Mechanism. Neuropathy is a loss of feeling heat, cold, or pain, and that loss of sensation can make it difficult to feel an injury, like a burn or a blister forming from your shoes. Analogy. Imagine a smoke detector with a dead battery. The danger is still there. Your body just isn't sounding the alarm anymore. Evidence drop. Peripheral neuropathy affects up to 50% of people with diabetes, making it one of the most common warning signs there is. Prescription. If you can't feel a light touch on the bottom of your feet or don't notice water temperature in the shower, get that checked. It's a simple in-office test. Bridge. Loss of feeling sets up the next sign, one that can go unnoticed for weeks. A small cut that just won't seem to close up. Mechanism. High blood sugar affects circulation and immune response, both of which your body needs to repair skin. This can be a sign of poor circulation and can lead to ulcers or infections. Analogy. It's like a construction crew trying to repair a road without enough materials showing up. The work stalls out. Evidence drop. People with undiagnosed diabetes may suffer from untreated symptoms, leading to more severe complications such as diabetic foot infections. Prescription. Any foot wound that hasn't visibly improved in 1 to 2 weeks needs a doctor's eyes on it. Don't wait for it to just heal on its own. Bridge. Circulation problems don't just slow healing, they change how your feet actually look and feel. Cold feet or color changes. Feet that are always cold, even in a warm room, or feet that change color. Mechanism. Diabetes can directly damage the blood vessels in the feet and legs, leading to decreased blood flow, with signs including sudden changes in toe or foot color, such as turning blue, purple, or black, or feet that feel very cold. Analogy. Think of your circulatory system as a river delivery network. Narrow the river, and the farthest towns downstream, your toes, are the first to feel the shortage. Evidence drop. This is one of the clearest visible signs of the circulation half of diabetic foot damage, separate from the nerve damage causing numbness. Prescription. Persistent cold feet or unexplained color changes are worth a circulation check. Ask your doctor about a simple pulse or blood flow test for your feet. Bridge. Poor circulation and nerve damage together set the stage for a shape change most people never expect. Swelling in the feet or legs, shoes suddenly feeling tighter by the end of the day. Mechanism. Swelling in the feet or legs is another early warning sign of diabetic foot problems, a sign of poor circulation that can lead to ulcers or infections. Analogy, like a drainage pipe that's narrowed just enough to back up water, fluid pools instead of properly circulating back. Evidence drop. Swelling frequently co-occurs with the circulation changes described in sign number 6, compounding the risk to skin and healing. Prescription. New, unexplained swelling, especially one-sided, deserves a same-week doctor visit since it can also signal other circulation or heart issues worth ruling out. Bridge. Now to the sign I teased earlier, the one that hides in plain sight the longest, a foot that changes shape without an injury. This is the one most people, and sometimes even the person it's happening to, dismiss as a sprain that never quite healed. Mechanism. This condition, known as Charcot foot, is one of the most severe diabetic foot complications, where bones weaken, fracture, and collapse, while neuropathy masks the pain that would normally stop you from walking on an injured foot. Analogy. It's like a building's foundation slowly shifting while the fire alarm is disconnected. The damage compounds precisely because the warning system that should stop you from making it worse isn't working. Evidence drop. Early signs include sudden warmth in one foot, redness and swelling without an obvious injury, and the arch flattening or bones protruding in abnormal places. And early-stage cases are often mistaken for a sprain or infection. Prescription. Any new foot swelling, warmth, or shape change without a clear injury, especially if you already have numbness, needs prompt medical evaluation, ideally same day. This one can progress fast because you can't feel it happening. Bridge. Shape changes often bring along smaller, easy-to-miss changes in the toes themselves. Hammer toes or ingrown toenails that keep recurring toe problems that seem to keep coming back no matter what shoes you try. Mechanism. A hammer toe is a foot problem where a weakened muscle causes a bent toe, and diabetes-related muscle and nerve changes can make these more likely, while ingrown toenails happen when nail edges grow into the skin, causing pain, redness, and risk of infection. Analogy. Weakened nerve signals to small foot muscles are like a puppet with some strings gone slack. The toe curls because the muscles pulling it straight aren't getting a clear signal anymore. Evidence drop. These are considered secondary structural signs, not diabetes specific on their own, but worth noting alongside the other signs on this list. Prescription. Recurring toe problems combined with any numbness or slow healing should be evaluated together, not treated as separate, unrelated annoyances. Bridge. 2 signs left, and they connect to something happening even when you're not standing. Burning or pins and needles that's worse at night. A burning sensation that seems to show up specifically once you lie down. Mechanism. Symptoms of diabetic nerve involvement in the feet often get worse at night, likely tied to reduced distraction and positional blood flow changes while lying down. Analogy. During the day, movement and activity are like background noise drowning out a faint signal. At night, in the quiet, that faint nerve static becomes impossible to ignore. Evidence drop. This nighttime pattern is one of the more distinctive, commonly reported features separating diabetic neuropathy from ordinary foot fatigue. Prescription. A burning or tingling pattern that specifically worsens at night is worth describing exactly that way to your doctor. The timing itself is a diagnostic clue. Bridge. And finally, the sign that ties every single one of these together: frequent infections or an unexplained foot ulcer. This is the sign that means all 8 previous warnings went unanswered, and it's the one doctors most want to catch you before. Mechanism. Undiagnosed diabetes can lead to diabetic foot infections or amputations when numbness, poor circulation, and slow healing combine and a wound goes unnoticed and untreated. Analogy. It's the final stage of every mechanism we've covered tonight compounding together: the smoke detector with no battery, the road crew with no materials, and the river running dry all at once. Evidence drop. This is precisely why podiatrists recommend seniors check their own feet visually every day if any risk factors are present, because the nerve damage means you may not feel a problem until it's visibly serious. Prescription. Any open sore on the foot that isn't healing, especially with redness, warmth, odor, or drainage, is an urgent, not routine, doctor visit. Bridge. None of these 9 signs alone proves diabetes, but research is consistent that the pattern together is one of the earliest windows your body gives you. Illustrative case. Consider someone like Walter, a composite, not a real patient. 66 years old, no diabetes diagnosis, feeling generally fine. Over several months, toes that tingled at night, a small cut on his heel that took nearly a month to close, and feet that always seemed cold no matter the weather. He mentioned it almost as an afterthought at a routine visit, and a simple blood sugar test caught prediabetes early enough to manage with diet and monitoring before any nerve damage became permanent. That's the entire point of tonight's list. These signs show up on the outside long before a diagnosis happens on the inside. Synthesis plus safety plus tonight's plan. Here's why this works the way it does. Your feet have the longest nerves and some of the smallest blood vessels in your body, which makes them an early warning system for blood sugar problems most people never think to check. Tonight's simple plan: look at your bare feet tonight, really look, top and bottom. And if you notice 2 or more of these 9 signs, that's not something to sit on. Call your doctor and ask for a basic blood sugar or A1C test. It's one of the simplest, cheapest tests in all of medicine, and catching this early is what keeps your feet, and the rest of you, healthy for the years ahead. Comment contract plus next video chain. If any of these 9 hit close to home, type feet in the comments below. It helps this reach more people who need to see it tonight. And if you want to understand exactly what happens in your body in the years before a diabetes diagnosis, the silent stage almost nobody talks about, that's the next video. Watch that one next.